Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Cam Jennings coming at you on behalf of EpicConversions.com. And today I want to do a book review for you. We're going to be talking about a book that I read recently called Breakneck Content by Ben Settle. This book is pretty cool. I'm going to be revealing 10 points about this book today. Now, this is a book that has, secrets in it revealed or whatever. So I'm not going to be getting into all the secrets in this book. What I want to do though is just talk about, what I thought of the book, and try to give you some insights on the book, and you can decide if this book is for you or not. That's on you. But I want to give you a little bit of information about the book from someone who's read the book. Okay. So 10 points for you, okay, on Breakneck Content from Ben Settle. The first point that I want to make about this book is that it's really divided into two parts, okay? You got this book, it's divided into secrets, okay? So you got secrets 1 through 34, all right? See, I wrote some bullet points down here, things I wanted to talk about, but you got secrets 1 through 34, which to me is really part 1 of the book. And then after that, you got secret 35 that starts into part 2 of the book, and that starts on around page 74. Now, this book, and the reason why I say it's divided into two parts is because secrets 1 through 34, they are, they're like kind of 1 to 2 page, like hit you in the gut secrets. It's like, hey, do this, hey, do that. They are ideas for coming up with content, right? Now, this book, and this is set on the sales page, it's for people who live and die by their content, right? If you need a great way to create content, and you need lots of great ways to create content, that's what this book's about. Creative, unique, interesting ways to create content. And again, it's kind of divided into two parts. Part 1 is secrets 1 through 34, and they're kind of like gut punch, face smack, 1 to 2 page, tactics on how to create content. And then on secret 35 and beyond, then it gets a little bit more, more in depth, a little bit more principle based, if you will. And it's really great. I actually love the latter part of the book, the second part of the book, even better than I like the first part of the book. Just that's the first point that I want to make. It's really a book that's divided into two parts. You got like the hit you in the face tactical parts, secrets 1 through 34, and then 35 and beyond moves into more principles, the more long drawn out ideas that I really, really enjoyed. So that's the first thing I'd say about this book. It's divided into two parts, really. The second thing that I would point out, the second point about Breakneck Content is this is a 130 page book. Okay. So when I say the second part starts on page 74, we're looking at like maybe halfway through the book, the second part starts. It's a 130 page book, so it's not a crazy long book to read. You can get through this fairly quickly. And I say that just because, people like to know how long something is. Some people like a really long book. Some people like a shorter book. Now me, I don't think about length too much. I admit I don't really like really, really long books that take me crazy amounts of time to get through. But if it's a great book, then I will go for it. But I can definitely say that I have read books, and I'll include this one in that category, books that are on the shorter side that I've gotten a lot of value out of. So I kind of like that if I can get through a book fairly quickly. I'm a slow reader, so a book like this, it'll take me a couple weeks to get through this book. That's just me. I know it's only 130 pages. That might sound pathetic to you, but I'm a busy guy. I try to dedicate time every day to reading. I'm just kind of a slow reader. And also sometimes I'll go back and forth between different books. So that is what it is. But anyways, this is about 130 pages of content. The third thing that I want to point out about this book is that it's about 130 pages of content, and it's about $130-ish. So this 130 pages of content, it's about it's about $1 a page if you think about it, you know. And I don't know if that's on sale or that's the full price. I can't remember. The point is, this book is over $100. So in my mind, that's not really on the cheap side of books. It's a fairly expensive book. Now to some people, they might think, oh, $100, that's nothing. You know, and to other people they might think, oh, I can't afford that. You know, you have to think whatever you want to think about it. I'm not going to sit here and try to justify prices to you. I will say this book is about $130, $130-ish dollars. So it's a little on the expensive side as far as books are concerned. Is it worth that? I will lead that into my fourth point. So my fourth point is there's at least two things from this book that I'm using right now that is worth the price to me. All right. And one of those is my Thoughts on a Walk series that I'm doing. It was heavily inspired by stuff I read in this book. And it's been really cool. Like I've busted through like almost 100 episodes of Thoughts on a Walk in a very short amount of time. And I'm going to be able to use that content for all kinds of stuff. So, you know, I wouldn't have done that without, you know, inspiration from this book. So to me, and I can think of at least one more thing also. There's at least two things I can think of right off the top of my head that I pulled from this book that easily pays for the money that I spent on this book. So to me, it's worth it. But that kind of like leads me into my fifth point. And it is that this book, and I wrote these down, okay? This book's for serious people ready to go, right? It's not for stagnant readers and like people who aren't really taking action, but they're consuming a lot of information. This book isn't for you people. Like if you're consuming a lot of information, but you're not taking action, you're going to read this book and you might think, oh, this is cool. You know, I don't feel like I got enough for my money or something. It's only 130 pages or whatever. You know, like this book's not for you. This book is for people who are already like busting their butts trying to create content, and they live and die by their content. You know, they are out there. They are trying to create content for people. They're using content to build their email list. They're using content to sell products. They're creating content that's designed to grab attention and get things moving for their business. If that's you, that's who this book is for. It's not for people who are just like thinking about maybe getting started, or it's not for people who like they're consuming a lot of information, but they don't really know what they want to do yet. It's not for you guys. Okay. That's not for you guys. It's really for the action takers. It really, really is. That was the impression that I got from it, because like if I would have read this book and I wasn't already doing things, and I wouldn't have been able to get anything out of it, like as far as like what I can do right now, then maybe I wouldn't have thought it was worth the price, you know? It's not like a crazy long book. Although I will say, if I spend like an expensive amount of money on a 1,000-page book, like I feel like I got a double negative. Not only did I have to spend a bunch of money, but now I got to read a bunch of book. And I don't like that all the time, man. I want to get in, get entertained a little bit, but also get some valuable information that I can use and get rolling. Like that's how I look at it. I'm a busy guy. I don't have a lot of time. So yeah, I don't want you like just filling the book up with a bunch of information that's not necessary, except you're trying to make it a longer book because you want to charge a higher price. I don't like that. I mean, just tell me what you want to tell me, man. Yes, I want to be entertained. Yes, I want to get something out of it, but don't make it a giant book just for the sake of, you know, feeling like you got to make it big because you want to charge a high price. I don't like that. So in that respect, I really do love this book. It's 130 pages. It gets in, it gets out. It's got some really tactical type stuff. It's got some really principle-based stuff towards the second part. And I really enjoyed it. I did. So again, and I keep on referencing my little bullet points here. Sorry, guys. Again, it's for serious people. All right. It's not for, you know, play arounders. If you're just like dipping a toe in and you're not really doing anything, this ain't for you. Again, you know, Ben Settle, he's got some books available on Amazon, which I think are great. I've read a couple of his books on Amazon, that I bought from Amazon. And I actually have another one of his books that I got from Amazon. I reviewed one a while back, Biz World, which was fantastic, by the way. And I got another one of his from Amazon, and neither of them cost very much money. And those are great. If you aren't really doing a lot, but you want to explore the world of Ben Settle, I suggest going over and checking out those Amazon books because they're not very expensive. And he's got he's got 2 free podcasts out that you can explore. But as far as these more expensive books are concerned, they're really for, business people. They're really for action takers. They are entertaining. And now when I say they're for business people, don't think I mean they're not entertaining, because they are entertaining. But they're really for people who already are moving forward and they're looking for things that'll help them get an edge. So that's what I would say. The 6th point about this book that I want to make is this is a reference book, okay? It has a lot of rereadability. It's kind of like an encyclopedia or a dictionary as far as like rereadability is concerned. It doesn't read like an encyclopedia or a dictionary, but it has that same kind of rereadability. This is a book that I can reference over and over and over again, okay? So I like that about this book. It's earned a spot on my bookshelf. I really enjoy that kind of like reference book feel that it has. The 7th thing that I want to point out is this is a masterclass in headlines. If you look at the headlines for each chapter of this book, and you look at like the headlines for each secret that's revealed, it's really a masterclass in how to do cool headlines that captivate people and pull them in. It really is. There's lessons to be learned just from the headlines in this book. So I thought that was really interesting. The 8th point that I want to make about this book is there is a fiction writing tip on page 121 that was a game changer for me. All right. And I don't write fiction, at least I don't yet. But that fiction writing tip on page 121 was a game changer for me. I loved it. And it was something that I immediately was able to use in my business. So that's pretty cool. I can't reveal what it is here, guys, but my point by telling you that is I just want you to like understand that there are things in this book that have actually really helped me in my business. 9, the slap in the face. This is what I wrote down. The slap in the face, pay attention tactic of high prices. What is the slap in the face, pay attention tactic of high prices? Well, when I wrote that down, what I was saying was because this book was like $130, it made me take it more seriously. Okay. I took the book more seriously. I wanted to get something out of this book that I could use immediately, to make more money. Because like, and I was listening to Ben Settle's podcast, and I think he says on one of these podcasts, there's 2 things you can do, right? You can either buy something or you can pay for something. Like, and I'm going to get these mixed up, but basically if you buy something, I'm probably getting these reversed, but if you buy something, and then you actually use it to make money, then it paid for itself, right? But if you pay for something, then it's just a loss to you. Like you paid for it. So you can actually buy things and not pay for them because the information you get in the books pay for themselves. That's kind of how this was for me. But what I'm saying is because it was more expensive, I was more motivated to make sure this book paid for itself. And I think that's a valuable lesson. When I say the slap in the face, how did I put that? The slap in the face, pay attention tactic of high prices. What I was trying to say was, I think people take things more seriously when they have to pay more money for things. The less money people pay for things, the less serious they take them in most cases. I'm sure there's some exceptions to that out there, but a lot of cases, the less you pay for something, the less serious you take it. So, I've seen it over and over again in my business, like when people, because I've sold tons of low ticket products, and, people buy things and then they ask you dumb questions about it. They haven't even looked through it. Things that were answered on the sales page or things that were answered in the book or in the product if they only look through it. But like all of a sudden they're ringing you up on customer support when they haven't even looked through the thing yet, that's a low ticket thing. That's not a high ticket thing. If someone pays you like $1,000 for something, they take what you're doing far more seriously. So it's just something to keep in mind. And then the 10th thing I would say about this book, guys, it's 130 pages, but it's very easy to read. Settle, he writes in kind of like this entertaining style, down to earth, entertaining, doesn't use a lot of like big words. Not that there's anything wrong with big words. I'm just saying his style is more down to earth. He's kind of got this funny kind of writing style. I enjoy it. I think it's really good. And yeah, that's what I'd say. So those are my 10 points on Breakneck content. I think it's really good. I think it's worth it if you have a business or you're ready to get going and take things seriously. This is a good addition to the collection. It can be reread over and over. There's reference to it. So that's all I got. How do you buy this book? You have to talk to Ben Settle about it. You have to email him. He doesn't have like some kind of like page where you can find all the books he has for sale. He doesn't have like some of his books are on Amazon, but his more expensive books are not on Amazon. I think the best way you find this book is just go to Google and type in Breakneck content, Ben Settle. You'll probably pull up a sales page for it. So that's probably the best way to find it. That's all I got. Hope this has been helpful to you. Don't hesitate to ask me questions about this book in the comment section. I don't mind answering your questions, but I don't want to reveal anything from within this book, if you know what I'm saying. We got to respect the IP here. So that's all I got. Hope this has been helpful, and I'll see you guys on another episode. Peace now.